a live stream. I was just having dinner. So, welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also the author of Anya's Ghost Stories, Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. Man, what a day today. So, I had a really good day. And Chris and I just had supper. Fearless and I checked up on the bookstore this morning, and his son and his son's friend was there. They finished the entire back room of the bookstore. So we are literally freaking official out of business of Two Dads in the Bookstore. So Chris just finished everything in there. He helped Fearless, and there was a couple of other people helped getting everything done. They got another dumpster, so they decided to throw all the books from the front room into the back room so they can put them in the dumpster. So hopefully we are officially done with it. But anyway, we are going to get rid of all the books because we are no longer in business. So it's the only thing we have to do. But so right now, we're just hanging out. I mean, I was just having dinner, and before that, I was just watching the Highlander series. The actor who played Duncan MacLeod, his name is Adrian Paul. He was an amazing actor, great swordsman. I mean, he had a lot of training with swords, especially with his co-stars. They were amazing people. How they, decided to film the series, and how the characters like fighting against one another, and their code would be like there only can be one, so they cut off their heads and end up being immortal, getting struck by lightning, that sort of thing. It's a really good series. This is like from Scotland, I think. I mean, the character that Adrian Paul was playing, Duncan MacLeod, his character is like a Highlander, like from the actual country is called Scotland. So they are truly Highlanders. It's like based on real life events, what happened hundreds of years in the past. Duncan MacLeod was actually born in late 1500s to early 1600s. So it's been about 500 years by now. For Duncan MacLeod, he was like 400 years old, but in our reality world, the 21st century, he is about 500 years old. So somewhere around there. But anyway, we have a new story for you guys tonight. It is called The Tailor's Daughter at Winter Market. So the tailor who liked to tailor all the, clothes for fancy people, like bankers, maybe musicians or whatever, that sort of people, they literally tailor their clients' clothes, as in like making clothes out of fabrics, something like that. So the tailor he had a daughter, and she was at the winter market. Whatever she was doing in that market, possibly maybe selling something, or she is or was uh, shopping for something, maybe new materials, maybe for her father to make more clothes for the clients or something like that. But we'll figure that out anytime soon. So now we are going to read the story. I hope this can touch your heart and, I don't know, gets you all emotional. If this makes any sense to you, let me know in the comments down below. So I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching and being very supportive, and just enjoy all the stories that you are getting every night. So anyway, I'm not gonna be at the bookstore tomorrow because I just want to spend time with my kitty. My cat does not want me to leave the house because she is afraid I would abandon her a lot. That's why she cries, because she's afraid that she won't see me again. That's the reason why. So I'm just gonna stay home tomorrow like I usually do, just relax, sleep in, maybe watch a movie, or finish making my projects like I usually do. So I'm making socks right now. I found another way to make them. I start with like 13 chains, and I go to the second chain, all single crochets in a round, and then I start increasing both sides until I reach the length, and then I literally just, single crochet in rounds until I get tired of increasing, but until I to the heel part. I mean, like, I stop right here where the foot is, then I start doing the heel. So this is what I'm doing. So anyway, let's get started on the story, because I know you guys are dying for it. So it's already 9 p.m., but I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Please get something to drink, sit back, relax, and please click like, share, and subscribe. And let's get started on the story. So after this, I'm going to get cleaned up, get ready for tomorrow. Even though I'm staying home, probably taking care of the house. Maybe I'll cook something, or I'm probably just gonna work on my projects like I usually do. So going to finish reading my novel. So anyway, please click like, share, and subscribe, and let's get started on the story. And here's my co-host, my husband, Chris, and he's going to be at the bookstore tomorrow all day, helping Fearless getting all the books into the dumpster, like knocking all that shit down. So anyway, let's get started on the story. We're on season 6 now. The tailor's daughter at winter market. Lena only took the vendor job winter market because her friend bailed 2 days before opening night, and because rent had a way of becoming urgent every December. The market occupied the old train depot downtown, a long brick building transformed every holiday season into rows of handmade candles, knit scarves, hot cider, and hopeful small businesses. Trying to survive one more year, Lena's booth sold repairs, vintage coats, and reworked wool pieces, which meant she spent most evenings in one corner near the former parcel office, hemming, pinning, and talking strangers into seeing beauty where department stores preferred uniformly uniformity. The depot was charming in the way old public buildings are: high rafters, iron beams, and enough trapped cold in the walls to remind you history did not always include central heat. The first odd thing she noticed was the extra spool of silver gray thread that kept appearing on her work table. She did not own silver gray thread. Each time she moved it to the supply bin, it returned to the exact center of the table by closing. On the fourth night of the market, while she was altering the sleeve length on a child's peacoat for next day pickup, Lena heard someone clear her throat gently from just beyond the curtain behind her booth. She turned, expecting a customer instead. No one stood there, only a dress form draped in an unfinished cape she had been meaning to fix. Yet, on the form's shoulder, pinned neatly where no pin had been moments earlier, was a handwritten tag in sloping old script. The right sleeve first, the left hangs from grief. Lena started at it for so long that a woman buying mittens who coughed politely to get her attention. The note vanished by the time Lena looked back, but when she examined the coat, she realized the right sleeve indeed needed adjustment before the left would ever sit correctly. The alteration took half the time she'd expected. She was still deciding whether to be grateful or offended when the market manager, hearing some version of the story, asked whether the ghost had finally picked her booth. Apparently, the old parcel office behind Lena's stall had once belonged to a tailoring family who worked station uniforms, morning clothes, and travel repairs in the years when people still arrived by rail with hems to be saved in a hurry. The tailor's daughter, Ada, learned alongside her father and was said to be more talented than he was by the time she was 17. Then a winter epidemic before the season ended. Old depots, she never stopped finishing garments left in the wrong state, particularly clothing tied to depart. Reported turning up bows or seams. Previously corrected, ignored the whole thing and had bad luck with thread tangles and collapsed displays. She likes people who care what fabric means. The manager said that were the most ordinary hiring requirement imaginable. Lena wanted no part of sentimental thing to her, but yet the interventions became to reject. A customer brought in a dead grandmother's coat needing invisible bending, and Lena found the exact matching thread waiting on the table before she opened her kit. A military-style wool jacket with a torn lining turned up on her rack. The next morning, neatly fastened for repair in a state she had only ever seen in a museum. Conversation notes. One, after staying late to work through market overflow, she dozed briefly in her chair and woke to the sound of scissors cutting through fabric across the room. In the direction of the depot's dark ticket window, a young woman stood at her table in short sleeves and mesh tape looped around her neck, one hand smoothing the shoulder of a child's coat. With heartbreaking concentration, Ada did not appear eerie. She appeared busy. The thing that made Lena finally accept the haunting was the red dress. A woman brought in a small velvet holiday dress belonging to her daughter, who had died the previous winter before ever wearing it to the school concert. It had been bought for. The mother wanted it turned into a pillow, but cried too hard to explain exactly how. Lena promised to try and then spent hours failing because every cut felt wrong. That night, the market closed under heavy snow, and she stayed late staring at the dress across her work table. The silver-gray thread appeared again. Then a pair of shears laid themselves gently beside it. In the window reflection, Ada stood behind the table and shook her head once. "Not a pillow," she said. Her voice sounded like cloth being folded. "A cape. She'll still need to arrive warm." Lena found herself nodding before she understood why. Working with the dead is apparently not so different from working with exacting relatives. Lena followed the pattern Ada indicated through gestures and reflected pin placements. The little red dress became a child-sized winter cape lined in soft cotton, elegant and wearable, rather than memorialized into something inert. When the mother returned and saw it, She sat down hard on the stool and cried into both hands. Then she asked whether her younger daughter could wear it to church on Christmas Eve because it looked like it still wanted to move. Lena said yes before considering whether she had authority to answer. That night, after the market closed, she found a roll of silver gray thread wound into a small perfect circle on the table beside the empty spool. In the middle lay a single brass thimble, worn from no hand she could see. By the final weekend, Lena had stopped thinking of Ada as a ghost in the childish sense. She was more like a second pair of standards, operating on a different schedule, garments tied to parting grief or transition drew her closest. A widow's black gloves reappeared, with one torn finger repaired before Lena could touch them. A train conductor's old coat brought in as a gift for retirement. Framing returned to its hanger pressed and brushed free of lint no modern steamer had removed. Customers began saying Lena's booth felt gentler than the others, though they could not say why. She knew some cloth remembers the body that wore it, some repair remembers the occasion it failed to survive, and some dead seamstresses evidently still insist that things meant for leaving or mourning be finished properly. On the last night of winter market, after the booths closed and vendors packed their crates under strings of dimming lights, Lena found the parcel office door open for the first time. Inside, on an old tailoring bench, sat a photograph of Ada staring with her father Booth, both of them solemn and thread-scarred. Beside a rack of heavy coats tucked behind the frame was a pattern piece marked in pencil with measurements for a child's winter cape. Lena took neither. She only closed the door gently and left one spool of silver gray thread on the bench. In exchange, the next morning, the spool was gone, and her own work table, emptied, packed, and stripped for storage, held one final note in the old sloping hand: better than a pillow. Wow, that was so amazing. I mean, a young woman somehow got helped by a spirit fixing a lot of ripped clothes. And if I were Lena, I would definitely do the same thing. I mean, I'm working on my own project as well. I'm literally making my own socks anyway. There's always another way to make it. I have to watch a lot of videos to see if that will literally work. So, what did you guys think about this story? Did it touch your heart? Did it make you cry? Did it make you happy or something? Was it good?
It was a good story.
For him, it was really good and beautiful.
Yes.
Did it touch your heart?
Yes.
Did it make you cry?
No.
Okay. So anyway, but yeah, this story literally just touched my warm heart. It just melted. Even though I'm like freezing my ass off, but still, it is hot out there. I chose not to go for a walk because it's too hot. So, unless we might go for a walk if we choose to.
Maybe tomorrow.
Well, yeah. So, it is like 23 minutes after 9. So, anyway, so now that the story is done, let's move on to the questions. I mean, let me ask you guys a question. How do you feel after listening to the story? Did it make you very happy? Did it make any sense to you all? Um, did it make you like all emotional? Did it like relate to you all, guys? I think it might be relatable to me because, my father's sisters, they can make clothes out of fabric. Like, literally, they can sew. I mean, like, SEW, which is sew, as in, like sewing things, like bags and make actual clothes or something like that. They actually could. They might be fashion gurus. But for me, it's like crocheting stuff. I mean, I know how to do the sewing, so I've watched a lot of videos about it, but I like knitting, crocheting, sewing, and weaving. That's like almost the same thing, but I haven't done that in a while. So I'm just knitting, crocheting for a while. But anyway, so now that the story is completely done, we're just gonna move on to the questions. So, all right. So we've got 10 questions and 10 answers. So I hope that makes any sense to you all. If you have any questions, you can leave me comments down below. So let's get started. Would you have kept working the booth after the first note appeared? I definitely would have, yes. I mean, if I, like, say, worked at the bookstore still, and the note just appeared out of nowhere, if I ever, like, saw it come, like, towards me or whatever, with the spirit of a young woman who died many centuries ago, but I probably would have like witnessed her appearing out of thin air and she would have given me a note or something. I would accept it. If she asked me if I needed her help, I would totally accept it. Like Lena did. She finally accepted the haunting and she would not mind. I mean, spirits, yeah, they can be very, very friendly. So, what's really fun and really amazing thing? My husband's grandfather somehow led him towards the store that I worked at for a couple of years. So, at first, I didn't know who this man was because I was just a manager and a trainee, something like that. And somehow he came in and we started chatting, and one thing led to another. We ended up like going on a date the first time, gotten to know each other, and then we ended up being more than friends. So, and I was like living with my mom only for a few months, and then I moved out again. I moved in with my husband, so we've been together about 3 years now. So anyway, but yeah, I would definitely accept the spirits. I would definitely accept my gift to feel the presence of a dead person, and I would definitely accept the spirit's help if I actually did need it, especially like writing my ghost stories, like writing my book. I need to finish working on that. So hopefully, Fearless and I will go back to his place and finish working on that. And once it's done, I will let you guys keep you updated about the book. So I'm still working on my second novel. It is called Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. We will do the title. So anyway, let's go to number 2. Do you think Ada stayed for the craft, the meaning of clothing, or unfinished care?
Unfinished care.
I agree with my husband. So I think it was definitely the unfinished care. Especially, I think that Ada wanted to help Lena fix whatever she was working on, like helping the customers. It was the meaning of clothing and also unfinished care. So my answer is gonna be the unfinished care. Let's go to number 3. Why are train depots and winter markets such calming settings? That's a good question, you guys. Well, it's probably the history and all the good memories. Some can be very bad memories, most of them are good, but it depends. I mean, there was once a Taylor family who passed away long before Lena was born. So they used to help customers fix their clothing and sold all the clothings and stuff. I mean, literally, they were amazing people. And they died, they were heartbroken of what was happening. I mean, like, their daughter somehow passed away one winter, and a mother was heartbroken when she got devastated when she lost her child, perhaps before like wearing the clothing for the church that concert night. So I think her child must have been, I don't know, 7 or 8. I don't really know because I wasn't there when this child passed away. So do you think that this is a heartbreaking, emotional story? Let me know in the comments if it touched your heart, if it literally broke your heart for it. I think it broke mine too. So it's emotional and it's memory and it's history. Things happen constantly all the time. So I probably think it was. So same question for you. Why are train depots and winter markets such rich haunting settings?
Because people are there alone a lot.
True. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with my husband's question right now with his answer. So anyway, let's go to number 4. What was more unsettling, the returning thread, the reflection, or the instructions. I think it was the reflection of the dead woman who lost her child one winter morning or one winter night or something like that. So, same question for you. What was more unsettling, the returning thread, the reflection, or the instructions?
The instructions.
Okay. The note said something about fixing a dead mother's daughter's dress. That's a note.
Yes, that's pretty scary.
Well, a mother lost her child at winter.
Yeah.
Her daughter would have worn that dress before she died. But the daughter never had the chance to wear that beautiful little dress at the church concert. It's because she passed away. We don't know what killed the daughter, but maybe the illness must have done something. So I'm not really 100% positive about that, but perhaps maybe it was the illness, but we don't really know why and how old this child really was. Perhaps maybe a lot younger. Well, for me, I think it was a reflection of a woman. That's what I'm done here, guys. All right, guys, we are about 5 questions left before I sign off. You're always welcome to join the conversation and join with questions and answers. You're always welcome to join me on live stream, with the conversation from cameras, like in one place of the camera and me on this side of the camera. So you guys are always welcome to join if you wish to, because we're nearly done. So was Ada right about the red dress becoming a cape instead of a pillow? Yes. If Lena could not turn it into a pillow, she would have learned how to make a cape. So I think Ada did the right thing. And Lena definitely turned it into a cape. And the mother named Ada, I think that was her name, she was happy to see the cape that was supposed to be a pillow or a dress still. But apparently the mother felt happy and thankful for that. So anyway, I think she did the right thing, yes. So let's go to number 6. Do you think clothing can carry emotional purpose beyond memory? Yes, of course it can. All the clothing always carry emotional purpose. Like the late daughter's clothing or the late husband's coat or hat or the shirt that he must have left behind when he passed away, or some kind of object, like a wallet or a picture. They can carry a lot of emotions and expressions, like a lot of them. Cell phones, computers, everything can be attached to the spirits, because that's what they used to belong to the people who died in the past. Like a bow and arrow from 11th century, like Robin Hood men in tights as well, and with his friends who are married men, that sort of thing. When Robin Hood passed away, he finally reunited with his wife, late Maid Marian. She was happy to see him because she died, like, say, a few years after they got married. So when he died, he finally reunited with her, but the object is still attached to him. So let's say if it happened to me or to him, we would feel the presence of our people, like we, like, say, hold on to the things that was mostly dear to us. Like, say, a human being was dear to us, but his stuff felt like he was still around. So I'm just using it as an example. Like, say he passed away and the shirt that he's wearing, I would probably hold on to it. Like, if I smell it and I could feel my husband's presence and it looked like he was still around. I mean, literally. So his car, I would probably keep the car because it looked like it was him driving. If, like he was still there, but if he's dead, but his spirit would still be sticking around, and I would want to remember what my husband used to look like and what kind of car he drove that still belonged to him. My husband had his car since he was in his early 20s. So I was in my mid 20s already, like years ago. So it was like probably about, I don't know, 10 years ago, I think. That's when, what, you got your car?
Yes.
It was like around 2016, somewhere around there. So, yeah, it's been 10 years for him. But I literally think that objects can be attached to the spirits because the spirits are literally wanted to be buried with those things. But spirits are actually attached to the objects because it once belonged to them. They made a vow once they were dead, they can be buried with the stuff. Like, for me, once I'm gone from planet Earth, I want to be buried with my stuff, like my jewels, maybe, my yarn, my knitting needles, crochet hooks, yarn needle, scissors, or all my projects. I literally would want to be freaking buried with that stuff. Maybe I want to go back to my country and be buried there, perhaps, because that's where all my relatives are buried. So maybe I want to be buried right next to my mom's parents, or I want to be buried right next to my great uncle who died about a month ago. So I still think of him every day, even though I haven't seen him since I was an infant. Anyway, let's go to number 7. Is this haunting more about artistry or grief? I think it's about artistry. It's not just about grief. The haunting is like grieving a lot more than being very angry or something like that. It's like you're reliving the day you died, That's more like a time loop that you are reliving your death over and over and over. That's a little more haunting than ever. So, but if you're haunting with your artistry, like being an artist or whatever, you're haunting the artistries because you are trying to finish what you started, with you, like taking your job very seriously. So I think it's more about artistry. I think that's what it is. Same question. Is this haunting more about artistry or grief?
Both. Probably more grief. I don't know. But then a little bit of artistry too.
Okay. Well, my husband said it's both, but for me, I think it's about artistry. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about question number 7. Let's go to number 8. Would you trust a dead seamstress with sentimental garment? Of course I would. Yes. If I saw this seamstress mending other people's clothes or, like winter clothes or something like that, I definitely would trust her, and I would literally see what she's doing, and maybe I can learn same way she did when she was alive, and I would trust her methods. Literally. So I definitely would. Anyway, I hope this can make any sense to you all. So let's go to number 9. Why do practical solutions sometimes comfort more than memorial objects? Well, that's a good question, you guys. I think it's probably the comfort is like you can feel someone's presence being comforted by the, like, say, your loved one, and memorial objects are like you're holding on to a past that you can never let go. I, for instance, probably need to let go of my past, which is my family or something, like my great uncle. And I still think of him, and I think of my mom's parents all the time. So I really want to let go, but I just cannot. I could think, I can feel their presence. I can feel my great uncle's presence, even though he never set his foot in American soil because he had no reason to. But I could still feel him. Like when I think of him, I know he's with me at all time, constantly. He's with me in my dreams, and he will always be a part of me no matter what. Everywhere I go, I could still feel my ancestors' presence. Also, my cat. If she passes away, I could still feel her presence. I could still hear her meowing and rubbing her little nose or her head on my arm, or her paws holding on to my arm that one time, because I know she held my arm because she was so scared one time. She just wanted to be near me. That is the reason why. But if she passes away, I could still feel her presence. She's a baby. She just wants to be with her mommy and daddy. That is the reason why she is so clingy to us. Anyway, any solutions. It's part of our history and it's part of our memories, and it's part of our past. That is the reason why it can be comfort. It's because your loved ones are still with us. Your loved ones are still with you. It's because They're just here to protect you no matter what. They want to look after you, even in death, but they're just here to make sure you are okay. They want to make sure you are happy, living the best life they imagined when they were alive. Okay, guys, we have one last question before signing off. If a ghost redirected your work toward more care, would you follow? Yes, I totally would. I definitely 1000% would follow the spirit's methods and instructions. I would literally accept it. So let me ask you who are watching the show right now. If a ghost redirected your work toward more care, would you follow? Let me know in the comments if you actually would. I totally would definitely take the advice from a dead person with my work. I would honor my ancestors' work, especially with their methods. Anyway, I definitely would. Okay, guys, we are out of time, and thank you for watching and enjoying listening to the story. And next on Ghosting with Anya, we're doing the new story called The Janitor on the Overnight Bus, episode 196 on season 6. So get ready for tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. or a little bit late. Let me know in the comments if you would love to listen to this story. If you're not interested, that's okay. This channel might not be for you. So again, thank you guys, and we'll see you all tomorrow night, Ghosting with Anya live stream right here on YouTube. The Janitor on the Overnight Bus, season 6, episode 196. So have a great night and stay safe, stay warm, stay hydrated, and stay spooky and have fun, and drink plenty of water, and please click like, share, and subscribe. And thank you guys. May God bless you all, and may God protect you. Good night, and thanks for watching. Bye.